Hello, and welcome to CFI Breakfast Bytes, a podcast that is brought to you by the World Bank Center of Excellence and Rabo Partnerships and Foundation. My name is Rubiga Sivakumaran. In today's episode, we will introduce the topic of panel 2 during the World Bank International Symposium, which is all about promoting successful CFIs in rural areas. And I will do this together with Geraldo Almaguer, who is the president at Développement International Desjardins, and Maximiliano Sainz, who is the director of expertise and development, also at Desjardins. Warm welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Geraldo, at Desjardins, you have been active in CFI development for over 50 years. What is exactly the potential you see for CFIs, and then especially in rural areas?
I would like to start saying that thanks of their solidarity values and inclusive business model, COPs can play a key role in researching sustainable development goals, namely those related to rural development and improving the life of people and communities. With right now, with 1.7 billion people still unbanked worldwide, financial inclusion remains a priority target, and most of those people live in rural areas. As traditional banks are absent from various areas and population segments, CFIs are best places to lead the way to reaching this target. This said, as socioeconomic leader, the CFIs have an impact that goes beyond improved access to financial services. In rural areas, they play a direct role in encouraging the adoption and deployment of agricultural innovation, but also in developing rural entrepreneurship, in developing climate-smart agriculture, in implementing and optimizing sustainable food value chain, as in increasing women's access to economic opportunity. They thus contribute to developing stronger, more gender and nutrition-sensitive agri-food system.
Yeah, so CFIs have a huge potential for greater financial inclusion in rural areas, if I hear you correctly. Maximiliano, what are important factors and stakeholders that can unleash this potential?
Thanks, Ruby, for your question. At Desjardins, we think that to accelerate their development and continue achieving their mission, CFIs must overcome the challenge they are facing. Those challenge concerns access to capital, digital transformation, environmental issues, and adapted regulation and supervision. About access to capital, we can say that CFIs must identify innovative ways to gain better access to capital through impact investment and blended finance. Concerning digital transformation, in their journey towards modernizing their operations, CFIs should consider partnering rather than competing with fintech and other service providers in order to make their service offer more convenient and secure, and also to have a better compete with other financial institutions. This is also a key factor to inclusion of women and youth. In regard to environmental issues, we also think that CFIs should integrate environmental and social risks management among their practice, and also to develop green finance products within their service offering. Last but not the least, adapted regulation and supervision. CFIs have specific governance and operating principles that need to be taken into account by regulators and their policies. Close collaboration among those stakeholders is therefore essential.
Yeah, thank you, Maximiliano. Despite this great potential, people and stakeholders sometimes still refrain from doing business with CFIs due to their cooperative model. Why do you think this is the case?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think in some countries there may be a bad reference to cooperative models due to past experience. It's also possible that in some regions of the world, the cooperative model is associated with certain political ideology. There are many good management or governance practice in the cooperative model as it is in other type of organization of business. The cooperative model is no less transparent or efficient than the capitalist or state business model. The cooperative structure has all the tools to enable good governance, management, and economic performance. The cooperative model has advantage that other type of capitalist or state-owned enterprise do not. If we refer to the principles and values of the cooperatives, this organizational model is democratic, inclusive, is also embedded in local environmental, and allows a great distribution of wealth. By elsewhere, the purpose of the cooperatives is to meet the needs of their members by setting up an economically viable business. Making profits is therefore not what drives their decision. I can also say, in addition, that according to some studies, cooperatives have higher survival rates than other types of organization in the long term.
Okay, so if I hear you correctly, the cooperative model is an advantage and not a disadvantage, actually.
As it is, yeah.
Geraldo, on November 4th, Desjardins will be moderating a panel discussion on the promotion of CFIs in rural areas. What do you hope to achieve with this session?
Well, we are going to talk with three cooperators that, just like DID, the panelists that will join us for the discussion are all long-standing cooperators that have a great lot to share about rural cooperative development. These cooperators are Elenita Sanroque, who is the CEO of the Asian Confederation of Credit Union in Thailand, Isabel Pinto, former CEO of the Comultrasan Financial Cooperative in Colombia, and also Jose Claros, who is the CEO of the Abaco Financial Cooperative in Peru. They are going to share us how the cooperative model is more relevant than ever. And they are going to share us the factor that made a difference in the success of their respective organization. They will tell us as an example of a sound governance, a service offer that is adapted to the needs of members, including other cooperative, smallholder, entrepreneur, women, and youth. A wise use of digital technology, access to capital through innovative way like impact or blended investment, a strong measure to protect clients' information and assets. But also they are going to share us how the higher level of integration to ensure efficiencies play a key role. And a good collaboration with regulators so that policies and requirements be adapted to their COP nature. Maximiliano told us how it's important that the regulation is adapted to the COP's model. As you can see, we will be covering a lot of ground. It will be an event not to be missed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Geraldo. It sounds very interesting and a great variety also in the panelists. So I'm looking forward to it. For now, I would like to thank both of you for your insights. And in next week's podcast, we will introduce the topic of panel 3, which is all about regulation and supervision of CFIs, already slightly introduced by the two of you. For now, thanks for listening and stay tuned.